If I can't register my LLC in every state where I do business, is there anything else I can do to protect myself from unknown lawsuits? Another way to put this is, if I don't want to register my LLC in every state where it does business, is there anything else I can do to protect myself from unknown lawsuits? Okay, what is this question talking about? If you have an LLC in Minnesota and you do business in New York and California as well, like for example, you might sell to customers there, you are required under New York law and California law to register your LLC in New York as a foreign LLC. And you're required to register your Minnesota LLC in California as a foreign LLC. Why? Because if you ever get sued there, parties have a right to serve that lawsuit on the state government, like the Secretary of State. Every state designates who can receive that lawsuit. And if you are not aware of that lawsuit because you're not registered there, you'll never know that you need to respond. So here's a real example. Many years ago, a company contacted me and they said, we just found out that there was a lawsuit against us in Minnesota and we lost. And it was a bogus lawsuit. It claimed we engaged in racial discrimination, which we didn't, and we've got all sorts of defenses. But because we didn't even know about the lawsuit, we of course lost, and the other side won by default. What can we do? And I said, well, how did you find out about this? Because ultimately you did find out. They said, we found out because they froze our bank account here in this other state. So I said, oh, wow. And it was a lot of money. And there is a process to try to undo a judgment when it's already been issued and you didn't know about it. But usually it's very difficult to win. The odds are stacked against you. So if you want to avoid that sort of scenario, you need to register in the states where you're doing business. So for example, if this company had registered in Minnesota, then when the lawsuit was commenced against them and the Secretary of State in Minnesota was served the lawsuit documents, the Secretary of State would have known who to send those documents to, and the company could have hired an attorney to defend them. So the risk is if you don't register in other states where you're doing business, you may never know about the lawsuit there. But what was the question? The question is, okay, if I don't register, is there anything else I can do to protect myself from unknown lawsuits? Probably the best thing you can do is make it really clear to whoever might be contacting you that who they should contact if they have any issues or disputes. So at least you are aware of the issues and it's not like an unknown lawsuit will be brought against you. One other thing you could consider doing, and that is you could consider having an arbitration clause or a venue clause in your contract with people. Not every lawsuit's based on contracts and breach of them. But to the extent you're selling to customers, you can have what's called a shrink wrap contract in there, which says, for example, if they want to sue you, they must sue you in your state. And you could even say it must be in one of these arbitration forums, so JAMS or American Arbitration Association. So in other words, rather than being able to commence a lawsuit in New York District Court or California District Court, under the rules of the contract, they have to commence the lawsuit in your home state or in an arbitration venue. All right, that wraps it up for today. If you are interested in being notified about future live sessions, usually we send out a notice a couple days in advance. You can get that notice in two ways. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel and turn on notifications, or you can get our emails. To do that, go to aaronhall.com/free, enter your email address, and you'll know about these free live YouTube sessions, and you'll also get access to exclusive videos that aren't available to the public. It was a pleasure having you here today. I look forward to seeing you next time.